Were you very nervous to start with to do this role?
No, I was very nervous. I mean, when it was first presented to me, there was no script. All I knew was that Stephen Frears and Peter Morgan was going to write the script and Stephen Frears was going to direct it. And that was sort of the deal. So I said, of course I'm interested because these are incredible artists. But until I read the script, I can't possibly agree or disagree, take the role. So it was only after I saw the script, and Peter, I thought, the film that you see is very much the script that he wrote. It was funny, it was political, it was sensitive, it was objective, and entertaining, so then I had to go, all right, I'll do it. But that's when I was very, very nervous, because she's so familiar, and it's not just the familiarity in Britain, it's that weird sort of obsessive and what's a territorial, not territorial, but when you feel you possessive, obsessive and possessive feeling that the British people have about the royal family, whether they're monarchists or republicans, whether they hate the royal family or they love the royal family, they're obsessed, and anything you say or anything you do about the royal family is going to have a huge amount of attention. So I was terrified of playing her, I was terrified of having to talk about playing her, and all of those issues.
So how strong did you feel the pressure to get it right, to be authentic about it?
Well, that pressure really only came from myself. I put pressure upon myself to get it right. But I have to say, I didn't obsess about that. I kind of, the way I act anyway is I do my research, I do everything that I think I should do, and I'm pretty lazy anyway, and I never do enough, but and then I just let it happen. I'm kind of quite free with myself, if you know what I mean. I don't obsess about the details. I just let it happen. I try and put myself into the character, and then I allow the character to live and be a human being.
I mean, obviously you also probably had a look at a lot of film footage.
Of course, absolutely. And I loved researching her. It was fascinating. Reading. The Queen was like Big Ben in London, the clock. Always there. You drive by, there's Big Ben, but you don't really look at it. And it's incredibly familiar, but you haven't ever really studied it. And now I had to study the Queen, psychologically, historically, just try and find as much information as I could about her.
And specifically your big task was really to show her everyday life, the things that's not shown by the film footage.
You're really in there. You've got to see the real, the person that isn't the formal monarch going about her business. And to do that, I went back to the young Queen Elizabeth, because there is still very much a girl in there. And you see it in relationship with her mother. Whenever her mother is around, Elizabeth becomes a young girl. And that relationship is very interesting.
Or maybe she wasn't that perfect at the time as far as her public performance is concerned, so maybe it was easier to learn something from the early pictures about the way she really is.
Exactly right. You're exactly right. That she didn't know she was going to become queen. It wasn't like she was born and you will be queen, you have to start preparing now. No, she had no idea. She came to the monarchy in a very circuitous route. Very unlikely. Her uncle had to abdicate, and her father had to have no male children. So it wasn't a shoo-in, as we say in England. So I very much looked at the young girl to see what her true personality was.
The fact that you impersonated her and looked at so much material and got, in a way, obsessed with her for a while, did it change generally the way you look at the Queen?
Completely changed the way I look. I have to say, for example, now, when I see pictures of the Queen, either I go, oh, there I am, Which is still, I don't know what's happened in my mind. Something terrible has happened. Oh, there I am. Or I go, there's my girl. Oh, there she is, there's my girl. Because I even now, she's in her 80s and she's much older than she was in this, when we play her at this time. I just see that young girl in her all the time. There's my girl.
So have you become a monarchist now?
No. I extricate the class system, the monarchy, from the person. The person is a very different thing from the monarchy.
So,
but I have to say, I think if you are a monarchist, we couldn't have really. I think we got very lucky in Elizabeth because she's not neurotic, she's not schizophrenic, she never went mad, she stayed constant and consistent. And maybe it was due to a lack of imagination, maybe it was due to a profound sense of duty. Whatever it was invaluable.